one. Okay, hi guys. Thank you again. I know literally every day we've been uploading new content, new interviews, and all that stuff. And I'm also busy working on bringing you guys another film, so that's also coming along the way. And yes, I am on camera today. So for those of you who don't like it, you can go fuck yourselves. But for those of you who like it, here you are. So yeah. So here we are, and today is not going to be like another typical interview. I know I've been doing sort of those like in a row for the past few days, but I brought someone back with me. So you might remember Lana. We did a really fun interview about a week ago or so. And so we just decided to do another one because yeah, why not? And so yeah, so here's so Lana's here. I have Lana here, but I also have this with me today. And I will be. I don't know if I'll finish it on camera, but I will be drinking it, and I won't be drinking alone because Lana also showed me her drinks that she has with her.
Did I
Yeah,
show?
yeah, absolutely.
It's my strawberry wine.
Oh, nice.
And then my vanilla cream.
Nice. So for those of you at home, we are not live right now. Obviously, this is everything. By the time you watch this, everything will be done. It's all pre-recorded, but if you want, you can always pull up a drink and just enjoy. Because it's been a while since I actually had a drink or two or whatever. So I'm busy with work and trying to build things for the channel. So yeah, so why not? So before we begin, okay, sorry.
I'm allowed to drink this on camera?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Let's start now.
Okay. Well, cheers.
Cheers, yeah.
Cheers.
I like that. I actually haven't had this since college, so a really long ass time ago. But I do like the taste of it, so that's why I just decided to pick it up today. So so I was just wondering what in terms of like AMBW and dating and stuff like that. I did go on your Facebook profile, and I noticed that you have like a couple of postings related to, I guess, like K-pop or like Korean pop stars or whatever. Is that
Yes.
would you say that you like maybe like not like have a fetish for them, but like are you like that's what you're into? Like you find that sexy or attractive?
Okay, funny story. In the first interview, remember how I was telling you I was in that relationship? Mm-hmm. When I got out of that relationship, I always heard about BTS, and I was like, who are these guys? Mm-hmm. So I guess, I don't know if it was the American Music Awards, but I just wanted to Google them because I heard like they were from Korea. Mm-hmm. And they were like, US mainstream. So I was like, let me just, Google it and see who these guys are. And then it was that day where the Asian infatuation came in.
Oh, no, it's okay. Honestly, if you want to say, Lana, it's okay, because obviously with the nature, we're, kind of in the process of drinking and stuff like that. If you want to say that, at that point you got turned on, you had fantasies of fucking an Asian dude or whatever, Korean guy, what girl doesn't, right? I mean, apparently every girl, that's all girls wants to do, and it was just fuck Korean guys. And you know what I mean? The ones that like Asian guys or whatever, they want to fuck Korean dudes. But I mean, I'm Chinese, you know what I mean? And so I don't have, but here's the thing though, I just tell white girls, I just tell non-Asian girls, I can't tell you, yes, I am Korean. Over time, you just learn to say yes, just lie. It's okay. You know what I mean? I mean, people have to ask.
So you lie about your ethnicity? You don't tell them that you're Chinese?
I mean, I started out doing that, and then I realized that telling the truth and quote unquote being a nice person or being a good person didn't really work for me because I wasn't getting any. I wasn't getting laid. I wasn't getting anything like that. So I figured if that's what girls are into, then why not just lie and just say yes? I mean, they're not gonna know the difference anyways, right? It's not like they're gonna start, quizzing you on being Korean or talking to you in Korean and shit like that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't speak any Asian languages in general. I'm like the whitest fucking Asian person I know.
I'm the whitest Asian Black person as well. I used to get not teased, but when I was in middle school, high school, mm-hmm. they would always, say, oh, you talk just like a Valley girl, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so I was a white girl trapped in an half Asian, half Black body. Because the way I carried myself too was I would always get teased about, oh, you act like a white girl. I'm like, oh, okay. I think even to this day, I still do, and like the only time like the black part in me comes out is if I'm pissed. Yeah. Then you can see the attitude that side of me. Yes. Everybody can see it. I get pissed.
I want to say right now that I think I am one of the only like people on earth that like can like stand up to like a black woman, or like, not be basically shut down by black women. I'm not trying to generalize here, but like you just said, you know what I mean? Like black women. Yeah. So you didn't say this. That's fine. But like, it's just in my head, it just popped up. It's like, people often have that stereotype and image of black women, being very, dominant, and, like being very stubborn, and, not willing to budge and shit like that, especially when it comes to, like pissing them off, which is kind of true. But obviously not always true. I don't like want to get canceled for being racist or whatever, but like it is kind of true. But like, I'm the most motherfucking like stubborn person on the planet. Like, I really am. I come from a whole family of stubborn people. So it's just it's not a problem. Like, I'm like totally, just like, yeah, like you can't, if you start a fight with me, you try to fuck with me, I won't move. Period. I will not move. Like, I'm not like a big dude or anything like that. I'm Asian, unfortunately. That's one of the stereotypes. I mean, I'm not small. Like, I'm definitely not small down there, but like small everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, height wise, yes. But I'm just saying, like, in general, like, yeah. I don't know. I think over time, I don't really, like, I just very, very stubborn person, which is not good for any future women that like want to date me or whatever. But
so when you say you're stubborn, you mean like when you're in a relationship with someone and you get all pissed off, you hold grudges?
No, I don't hold grudges.
You don't budge. Like, you're not the what is it? The aggressor, not the aggressor, the passive person or the controlling person. So like,
yeah, no, sorry. I can inhabit all of those traits, because when I get into it with people, especially women, if I get really pissed off, I tend to dig deep, and I really insult them like the worst. I don't know if I told you this last time, but like the love of my life, like she, a while ago, we were going out, and I called, and she has kids, right? So we got into it over texting. It wasn't even in person or anything like that, or over the phone even. And I said the worst thing you could possibly say. I called her a fucking bad mom, which really, yeah, that really fucked things up. So yeah, and then it's just like, in general, I know that's not a nice thing to say, but like, I know I have like issues or whatever, and maybe not with anger necessarily, but I do tend to dig very deep and make very, very personal insults to people. Because, and then people are all shocked when I do it. It's like, oh my god. And like me, I'm thinking like, how come you didn't think of that? How come you didn't say that? How come other people, like don't do what I do? But I mean, it's fine. I just like, I know, I've had anger issues or whatever, but yeah, still to this day, it's like, it's honestly one of the biggest regrets that I have, is calling her a bad mom. But and I know now not to do that now. Like, it's too late now, but that's good. So
So you making that comment to her is what ended the relationship?
It wasn't actually a relationship. Here's the kind of retarded thing. So I say she's loved my life, because we met a long time ago, like back in 2011. So yeah, 10 years ago. And yeah, I was like 24 back then, so I was a lot younger, a lot dumber, a lot more inexperienced when it came to women and dating and stuff like that. But basically, yeah, she was one of the first girls I actually went out with, and that was like first showed interest in me. So that's sort of how that like got started there. But we literally only went out like 2 times, and then after that, like it was very obvious that the interest was there, which is why we went out those times. But it just didn't, like, yeah, because of my stupidity, I called her bad mom, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm done. I don't want to see you anymore." And
what was the reason? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, what was the reason why you called her a bad mom?
I'm not going to go into that.
Okay.
But unfortunately, yeah, that is along my social. That's one thing that I won't go into. But no, basically, no, yeah, I can kind of go into it. Basically, we were just having a dumb argument. And I felt as though I was really kind of insulted and surprised deep down. So I did what my 24-year-old self would always do in this situation. I used like a really sensitive topic against her, and and I mean, it's like, like people. Here's the thing too. Like, I know you said that you're not necessarily looking for anything serious or anything like that, but I'm sure you're a very beautiful, attractive woman. I'm sure you have guys throwing themselves at you all the time, but it takes a lot of self control to say no. So that's good. But I also want to say that yeah, I mean, she is like, I guess I would consider to be like kind of like the love of my life. Um, and she's, but it's just it's because for me personally, like I have been on so many fucking dates in the past 10 years. And mind you, like I didn't do it just because I was horny or wanted some, action or pussy or whatever. Like I did it because like I was trying to get over her, and I feel like kind of I've since then I've kind of been doing it just to get over her because I feel this is so fucking stupid. But whatever. No, I'm okay. So in order to say this, I'm gonna need to take this drink. But
So you still, so like to this very day, you're still trying to get over her?
yeah, I think so because I think
Yeah.
deep down, I know that I'll never have her. Um, which is very like it's like the worst feeling ever. It's like it's just like if you want. I mean, yeah, it's not some like just stupid fling or whatever infatuation. Like I've been infatuated with girls and then gotten over them, but it's like like I think a lot of people in general have at least that one person that like got away, or maybe like that one person that they just met under perfect circumstances, but but they'll never get them because they fucked up or the other person fucked up, and now you guys haven't talked to each other or anything like that. So yeah, it's just it's unfortunate, but what can I do? Life is cruel, and that's that basically. But I can say that out of anyone like that I've met in the past 10 years, she's still the best one, which is very
Oh,
true. Like I know, and I'm not the only one. Like I know everyone out there has someone that like they, I guess kind of couldn't get or whatever for whatever reason, or maybe could get, but then they fucked it up. So it's kind of it's unfortunate, but it is true. It's like there's that very sensitive area, in my life that like I don't like I've never really gotten over. And I'm not unrealistic either. I'm not thinking, okay, any day now she's gonna change her mind. No, it's been a fucking goddamn decade since then. And
years.
I don't make it weird. Like I don't text her or anything like that. I'd actually never reach out to her. But I have seen her since then, just not in the romantic or like sexual sense or anything like that. But what about you? Like you met like anyone that made you kind of feel that way? Like anyone that like you consider like basically do you have like someone that you call like the love of your life or anything like that, regardless of how things ended?
The love of my life happened in 1996.
Mm,
He was 18, 18, 18 years old, and I was
mm,
20 something years old.
mm,
I met him at a KFC. I was going to go order some dinner for the family, and he was the shift supervisor or whatever working at KFC. So him and I started talking, and I ended up being in that relationship for 4 years, from 96 to 2000. He
mm,
was my first love. He's the one that I lost my virginity to. I
mm,
had my first kiss at 22,
mm,
which was with him. And today we still talk. Like he works on my, if I have issues with my car, he's right there helping me fix it. He's a mechanic today. When I have computer problems, he fixes them. So I was in love with him. That was the love of my life. Even till this day, he's still the love of my life.
oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
sweet. See, and like I can relate because I had gone out on dates prior to meeting fuck, what's her name, Adriana. I had gone out on actual dates with girls and stuff like that, like before then, but nothing really serious. So like being completely honest here, I know that you just said you actually hooked up with this guy, and that's how you lost your virginity. Like honestly, I'm being completely honest here. I actually have never had sex with this woman. I haven't even held her goddamn fucking hand or anything like that. But I know just from the way that like she looks at me or looked at me or whatever. It's just what I mean. Like it's all internal. Like you don't necessarily have to do certain things or be with a person for a very long time in order to realize that the feeling that you're feeling is actual romantic love. It's not familial love or like platonic love or anything like that. You know. And that's what I was saying on another interview. It was like, like it's love is something that's like birth and death. It just happens, and when it happens, it's just supposed to happen whenever it happens. But it's something that's outside of your control, you know. And that's why online dating, even though I have a fucking book about it, it's ultimately useless because you're not gonna find love. You can't find love. Love has to happen to you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, so what if I don't mind if you don't mind me asking, like what how come things didn't work out between you and this guy?
Um, we just he cheated on me a lot of times, and I just let him do it over and over and over. Um, because of the way he was treating me, it's just weird. Like I just started losing, like, oh, and then he was abusive, not abusive. He was mentally and verbally abusive. Like he would, oh, are you, oh, I'm not allowed to curse, but are you effing stupid? Or are
So
you
you can
effing,
curse. You can curse.
are you sure?
Yeah, we're fucking drinking. I've said the F word like 10 times past 5 minutes, so it's okay.
But I mean, he would be like, oh, you effing CUNT, or
Oh,
you,
wow.
are you, are you effing stupid? And I mean, I've gotten my head pushed into the side window, just
Wow.
the verbal. Yeah, actually that was physical. Yes, I've gotten choked. Like, I mean, I have scars on my back from when I got pushed up the wall. Like, so he became abusive. He became, just verbally, physically, to where I started shutting down. My emotions and my feelings towards him started shutting down, and my sexual attraction to him just died down too. And it just kind of died just because of the way I was being treated by him.
That really
So
sucks. That really sucks.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's
like
just.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, like what ended the relationship. Well, what was my last straw was he had texted me and said, hey, did you set up a Facebook account in my name? And I'm like, what? I don't even have Facebook at that time, And so he was like, oh, that's when he was like, oh, you effing cunt and blah, 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 And then, so that's when I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. But then he ended up texting me like 5 hours later. He's like, oh, I apologize. It was my son that set that account up for me. But then I just let that situation alone. I didn't respond back. And I just walked away that day. I remember it was the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah, the
Wow.
day before Thanksgiving.
So
But I was able to leave. I was able to leave the situation.
So would you say that, like, compared to like all the other guys, that you've gone out with or whatever, like that he's like at the top, like he's like the best one?
As far as what?
I mean, just like just like generalizing, because like when people say, that's the love of my life or whatever, like they usually mean that that's like the person that made them feel, like the
Yes.
hardest or whatever.
Yes. At that time, I was in love with him. I loved him. I mean, yes, he is considered today the love of my life. And I haven't had very many relationships after him. I think after him, I probably had maybe three more relationships, four more relationships after him.
Oh.
But he was like, yeah, he was the only one that I was just like, I was in love with him. I was. And he was Caucasian and
Oh, okay.
Hispanic. Actually, he was Caucasian and Hispanic. Yeah, he
Oh,
was
okay.
mixed. His mother was Hispanic and his father was Caucasian. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Adriana was also like Caucasian, but also like Hispanic, and she had like a lot, or not had, she didn't die, but like she has like she has like Native American blood in her too. So she's kind of like, I guess what you call like a mutt or anything like that, like a mix, but
A mutt?
yeah, like a mix, like more than two people mixing,
Yes.
more than two mix, yeah.
Golly, the last time I heard that, well, you said that in the last interview, I think.
No, I
But
didn't say it.
the last time I've ever heard that was probably when I was like in high school, middle school. They still
Really?
use that term today? Oh my Lord.
I mean, I'm old, so I use it. I don't know what people today are using. No, that's another thing too. It's like getting older, like I'm not old or anything, but like getting older, like and like looking at kids today, like they're like early to mid 20s, it's like early 20s or late teens or whatever. It's like I kind of see how stupid I was at that age, because I see a lot of them making the same mistakes that I do, or that I did, and it was just like, wow, like if only I had, done this right, or done this or whatever, I would have been
Right.
happier, And it's just kind of,
Um,
yeah, like Facebook is a motherfucker, because it's like like people say, don't Facebook stalk your ex, or don't Facebook stalk, other people that or went out with. Like, I can't help it. I Facebook stalked the shit out of Adriana. I don't really care. But that's the thing, though. What's fucked up is that, like, I really, really did. Okay, it's starting to hit me now. I really, really didn't start dating until I met her, and so I didn't think about the whole sort of Asian. I didn't think about interracial stuff. Like, I didn't think about Asian women dating white men and dating outside their race. I didn't think about Asian men dating outside their race. I didn't think about any of that stuff until I met this chick, and this chick enters my life, and she's just like, it basically she made me feel so awesome, so happy, at the same time so fucking small, because it was just like, it's so insignificant. I was just like, yeah, I don't think I honestly ever gotten over her to this day. And then, we're both basically in our mid 30s now. I'm kind of scared. It's like, I don't want to keep feeling this way, but at the same time, I don't want to lose that memory of her, because that's
yeah.
honestly like one of the most significant memories I have in my life. And most people will probably say, "Oh, that's fucking pathetic," or whatever, because you didn't even, you guys didn't even fuck or whatever. Um, but I mean, it's like, I didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, that's how love, like, came to me. You know what I mean? It's like, it was more innocent or whatever, stuff like that. And yeah, we were both adults, but I don't know. Like, my life is kind of like, just in general, like, just random. Like, what, like fucked up, but but you, like, why? Okay, so I have a question. And it's good that I'm kind of a little bit drunk right now, but that's why I'm asking it. Like, what? um, like, why? I mean, like you are not ugly person at all, and like you're very well
oh,
spoken. Yeah, but like, why don't you want to find someone? Why don't you want to date? Like,
um, I like being alone. I like having my space. I like peace. I don't like having to answer to someone. That's just, yeah. Like this last relationship I had, oh gosh. This person lived with me. Last time I said the last interview I said 3 years, but actually it was 2 years and a couple of months. It would be 3 years
okay,
in December. But that person ended up living with me. It just is something that just happened. And at first it was cool, but then I was like, oh man, I just felt like I was suffocating. You know what I mean? Then that person just ended up just moving in, just ended up staying with me. And I just being in my face all the time, I can't stand that. I can't.
so can I ask you this though? And this is like, don't
Yes.
get this twisted at all, but like, um, so in my opinion, like, women can be bigger players than men. And here's the thing, though. I know a lot of women watching this are not gonna like that, but I don't care. That's my honest opinion. But I do feel like women have a lot more power and a lot more authority than men do when it comes to dating, or just casual dating, or just relationships or anything like that. I feel like, like, whatever woman says goes, and because of that, like, her opinion, her decision is fact, and what you're saying is basically like dependent on whatever she decides. And I feel like that's so unfair, because you know what I mean. Like, men, I mean, like, we're already taught to be gentlemen and be submissive and stuff like that, hold the door open, and do all the bullshit or whatever. But like, just like, we're taught to do that stuff. We're taught to be subservient and gracious and nice. When you think about it, like, women have all the fucking power when it comes to dating. Like, you guys can withhold things from us. You guys can withhold sex. You guys can withhold, just even like finances or anything like that. Just like spending time with each other, anything like that. You guys can withhold it, and men can't really do shit about it. And like, it pisses me the fuck off whenever, like, I see a video like blasting men, or being like, ladies, like, oh, this is like call to action or whatever, like, avoid horn dogs or whatever. When you think about it, when you really, really think about it, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. when you fuck, when you really think
Hey,
about.
your cheeks are starting to turn red like mine are.
Yeah, I know. I feel it. I feel the red.
But I can tell like mine are starting to, yeah, when I start drinking, my cheeks start blushing. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
You're talking about women, how women have the dominance over men in relationships.
Yeah, so
And
I'm just
I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'm gonna say something after that. I'm
so
gonna let
my
you finish.
yeah. Okay, cool. So my one of my exes, she kicked me out of the bed, and she was just about to go down on me, just give me a blowjob and stuff. And like she was gonna do that, but she kicked me out of the bed because she didn't like literally like a word that I used, and she said, "Oh, that's not sexy. Go sleep in my roommate's bed." And when I was, when I asked her, it's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" Like she just gave me like a look, and she was like I'm gonna fucking kick your ass and beat the shit out of you. You don't get in my fucking bed right now. I was like, what's going on?
Oh
Like
my god.
women don't need to feel like they need more power. Like there needs to be more power delegated to both fucking sexes, like men and women. Okay, just because men have fucking dicks or whatever doesn't mean that we're the bad guy. It doesn't mean that we have all the power. We have no power. Okay, when it comes to that, we are more vulnerable than you women think we are. So you need to start treating us better. Yeah, I'm sorry, go on. Fuck. Oh
But see,
man.
it's not, that's not the situation in every relationship though. That's not, you know?
I don't know about that. I know so many guys that are like literally in college. When I was in college, I was with my friends and we were going to the strip club. And one of my friends had like a really hot ass girlfriend, and this motherfucker literally fucking calls her up and is being like, "Oh hey, so I'm going to the strip club. Do I have your permission?" I was like, "You fucking goddamn simp! What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Why would you tell your
Wait,
girl that you're?" Oh no.
the guy called his girlfriend and asked for permission to go to the strip club?
Yeah, because I was like, dude, let's go to the fucking strip club. Like, we're in college. Like, that's what people do when they're in fucking college. Like, he's like, okay, you know what? Let me call my girl and tell her we're going to the strip club and see if it's okay. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? That's how you know she has
Oh
this motherfucker
yeah.
on a tight leash. Yeah, this is like, dude, like,
He was, that means she was the controlling person in that relationship for him to get the okay or permission. But did she say yes, it was okay?
I guess because he went with
Oh
us,
my
but
Lord.
see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's okay, and now for guys watching this shit, I'm not saying it's okay for you to cheat, but it's kind of okay for you to cheat if you don't get caught. You know what I mean? No, here's the thing, because women do that all the time. You know what? And I was having this conversation with on another panel or whatever, and he was telling me it's like we were talking about women and like women who say I'm sorry, and they literally pause for like 2 minutes. They're like, women that say sorry, and I had to literally think back. I was like, yeah, I don't think I really do. That's fucked up. It's so fucked up. But it's kind of true. Like even my mom doesn't say I'm sorry to my dad. Oh my god. Like the amount of
I
times that.
yeah.
Oh no,
I'm like yeah. I'm I'm stubborn. I'm very I hold grudges, and it's very very hard for me to say sorry. Very very hard. Even when I know I'm wrong.
uh-huh.
Oh God, it's hard. It's very hard.
Okay, yeah,
I can hold a grudge for like a week. A
mm.
week. Yep.
Okay, and I want to kind of backtrack my steps or whatever. Like I don't mean all women, okay? Like including you, Lana. I'm sorry. I don't want to like piss you off or alienate you in any way. And any woman watching this, any female, like, but I'm just saying, like, women. Okay, so now that I'm kind of buzzed right now, like women, like what, like just everyone in general, just say sorry. It's okay to say sorry. You can say sorry because then you can have sex after. So it's like post sorry sex, Like, have you ever done that? I haven't, but I just thought of that right now. Like post
Like
sorry sex, like.
no, like I have never had makeup sex. Like yeah, no.
I don't. I mean, I usually never say I'm sorry, but like the women always.
Because you're
expect.
stubborn. Because you said earlier in the interview, you said you were very stubborn.
Yeah, but I usually say sorry if I'm trying to get something. See,
Oh,
that's
well,
how like the.
see, as long as it benefits you,
It's just. See,
as
here's
long
the
as
thing.
it's beneficial.
Here's the thing too. Like, men and women need to meet each other on the same fucking level when it comes to dating, and they don't do that because of pride, because they don't want to seem stupid, or they don't want to seem like the loser in that argument, And it's just like why? Like, what people should do instead of, this is totally a fucking alcohol talking right now. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but fuck. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh man, yeah. So what people should do instead of arguing with each other is they should just fuck. They should just fuck the shit out of each other. You should just have angry sex with each other. It's like hate sex, basically. If they did that, then not only would both parties be satisfied, but there would just be less. Relationships would last a lot longer. You know, relationships would last a fucking lot longer. I don't know what I'm saying, but just like just in general. Let's see. Nah, no. So, sorry, I'm Asian. Okay, you have two Asians right now on camera right now who are both drinking. So, and Asians in general have a low alcohol tolerance.
Yes,
So
I
that's
don't. What is that? Yes,
yeah.
and then I am petite, as I'm tiny. I'm like only 5'2.5", not even 5'3", and then
Mm.
110 pounds. I'm very, very petite. So it doesn't take very much for me to, yeah.
No, totally. No,
That's
that's
why
like,
I'm drinking in moderation. Drinking in I haven't even had my shot yet. I'm
you
just sipping on
should.
my
You
wine.
should.
I'm
You should, so
about
you're
to
on the
in a
same
minute.
level as me. You should, so you're on the same fucking goddamn level as me. Um, but like I don't know. I mean, like dating. Okay, so here's the thing. Adriana's not gonna watch this at all, because if she saw my goddamn face, she would shut the fucking thing off. But if like Adriana, if you're watching this, like I'm sorry, and at the same time, fuck you, because you made me feel so fucking like you make me feel so fucking bad, like about myself and about like not being able to be with you, because it's like I see you dating all these white dudes and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I'm not fucking white or whatever. But like, if I was, like, I'd probably be fucking shit out of you. So just like, I really, it just sucks, man. Like, cause I see all these married people, and all these people, holding hands, and acting stupid and shit, whatever. And it's like, I don't care. Like, if I have a date or I have a girlfriend, it's like, yeah, it's true. Like, I'm not over this person. I still haven't. And like, it's a problem. I mean, it's a problem because I can't really emotionally move on from that shit. But it's true, like I'm very different in that regard. Like, I'm not like most guys. I'm like, trying to fucking go out to the club, go to a nightclub or whatever, bar or whatever, and like, just like score a hot chick or some pussy, whatever. You know what I mean, for the weekend, and it's just like I don't care. Like, sex is sex, but like, so yeah, no, I'm sorry, I kind of went off on like a drunken tirade, but it is
Oh,
true. It's like I mean, Asian men, we already have enough to deal with, like in terms of dating and shit like that. It's just like, I was like the one Asian guy that met this like gorgeous fucking like half hybrid or Latina or whatever, and like just immediately fell for her. It's just like I don't know, like I get it, like when people tell you, like you're never gonna find anyone, maybe that's a good thing, maybe like you already find that person, you don't want to get over that person, so that's why you're alone. Not because you can't get a girlfriend or whatever, or a wife or anything like that. Like, anybody can get laid. Anybody can literally go outside and find someone to fuck. It's not that hard. But like
right.
falling in love, like you can't find love. Like love finds you. So but yeah, sorry. So I
You're
just needed to
good.
say that.
You're
But
good.
so um, so what about you? Like, do you? I guess okay. I'm getting into more adult talk here, so I don't really care. Like, so when it comes to like hookups, right? Like casual hookups, like. I mean, like including myself, like even though I'm whatever, in fact, in love with this girl, like I still get casual hookups or whatever from time to time. But like from like a woman perspective, I've always wondered this, like everyone says that guys are, players and they're horn dogs or whatever and shit like that, because they're just looking for one thing, which I feel is like really fucking hypocritical, because I feel like most women are kind of basically on the same page, if not more. Like, as a woman, like, what is it like for you? Like, when you're it's a casual hookup and then it's done and you leave, and you go home or whatever. Like, what is running through your head?
I actually, and I hope my friends don't watch these videos. But as I was saying in the first interview, I have a male, my circle of friends are males. So I actually am able to have a sexual relationship. Actually, both of us, we're able to have a sexual relationship and just no strings attached. We're cool. And we know that anytime that we hang out and drink and we have, that's the coolest thing is we can have sex and not even, and it's actually enjoyable. And then we can just wake up in the morning and go about our day and just be like, hey, text each other at work. Hey, what's up? Oh, I had fun last night. And then, yeah, I'm able to do, I do that. I have sexual relation. Oh, dang, I shouldn't say this.
No, it's okay. Hey, we're all human. You know what I mean? Human people, well, I say human people. People like to fuck. It's just a part of life. If we didn't, then we would probably explode.
Only with attractive people. Only with attractive people, though.
No,
I only like to.
No, wait, hang on. No, if you met some of the earlier girls, not right now, but earlier girls that I fucked, holy shit! Like, it's just like it's, But no, sorry, no, go on. Sorry, go on. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
You're good.
No. Continue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying, I'm able to have a sexual relationship with my platonic friend and it not turn into something creepy. And that's the cool thing about it. That's the cool thing about having friends like that is you have an understanding. But then when you start catching feelings, then I don't know about that one.
See, that's why I say women are bigger players than men. Because, okay, in your opinion, who is better at detaching themselves and running away from feelings? Like, is it men or women? Like, who do you think has an easier time doing that?
From my experience, I would say, well, you know what? I can't really say men or women. I would have to say it depends on what kind of emotional attachment, the end of whether it's woman or man, it depends on the kind of attachment that you have towards that person that determines if you're able to just let feelings go or not. That's what I believe. It depends on your emotional attachment to that person.
So, I'm trying to ask. So, have you never been in a situation where it's strictly platonic, or you establish rules it's supposed to be just friends or whatever, and you started to catch yourself getting feelings or whatever for whoever you were with or whatever?
No, because okay, there's a difference between, for me, there's a difference between catching feelings and oh, I want to be with this guy versus, oh, this guy's hot and I enjoy having sex with him and I'm still sexually attracted to him, physically attracted to him. I'm able to, I'm attracted to my friends, yes, but as far as being in a relationship with them, no. We have understandings no, we don't get into relationships, we just have sex. And then you go home.
I don't get that. I kind of get that, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe because I haven't had sex with a ton of people. I've had sex, obviously. I'm not a fucking incel, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. See, that's what I keep saying. Women, and again, everyone watching this is gonna think you're sexist. So I'm not sexist, including you. I'm not sexist. But I just think I live in Cali where everybody literally is just fucking each other all the time with no feelings or no attachment or anything like that. Or it's not, it's supposed to be that way. And that at the same time, it always sort of ends badly because someone ends up catching feelings. You know what I mean? And it's I get it when you're trying to fuck someone. Okay, so when you're trying to fuck someone, it's just purely
physical. Did you do the hand? Did you do the hand?
Sorry, go subtly, but I guess you saw it. Sorry, you weren't supposed to see it. Oh well, I should have done it like this instead of like this. But no, it's but I just feel like, like I know a lot more guys that have caught feelings than women, and most women are like you, like, like they just don't give a, they're just in it just to get some dick or whatever. And I like all my guy friends, a lot of guys that I know are like, oh, like how come you don't text me, or how come you don't say hey or whatever. Like it's just because she was trying to fuck you,
Really?
That's
These
why.
are these are
I'm sorry.
these are guys that you know that do that, like text women and say, "Hey, how come you haven't texted me?"
Yeah, yeah, I do. I
But
mean,
see,
I've
that's
never.
right. Yeah, that's where it goes back to. It depends on what kind of emotional attachment that you have towards that person. Because yes, you do have guys that are emotionally attached, and they'll start like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you all day," like the clingy one. Oh, I can't stand the clingy ones.
Okay, hang on. All right, so we need to back up because you said the c word. Okay, I just said the c word. So
Clingy.
no,
Oh
we
God.
need to erase that fucking goddamn stupid fucking shit word, fuck ass word from the
Clingy.
lexicon. No, because there's so many things that we need to get rid of word wise, like clingy and like incel and needy and all that shit. Like because then women start abusing that word and they start calling people that don't deserve that word, and it's
Clingy.
just like, yeah, because it's like eventually that word loses its meaning because it's being used so much, and because of that you have a fucking fuckload of guys who are like, like afraid to do this or walking on eggshells because they don't want to seem quote unquote clingy. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Women have a lot more power. Women have a lot more power when it comes to dating, because you guys can, again, I say you guys isn't like, I'm not a sexist. I'm sorry, whatever. But like you guys like do say that you do give labels to men, and because of that, you utterly control and dominate the dating scene, because you have guys like us or whatever who are just kind of walking on eggshells, hoping that we don't get on your bad side, or what I mean, we don't get labeled or get friends on or whatever. The thing is like dating in general, it's just like it's just so fucking pointless, because if everybody had the fucking balls and patience to just fucking wait instead of fucking going out to bars and clubs and shit like that, like this world oh wow. This world would be a better place. Because you would have less, miscommunication and less quote unquote neediness or whatever. Neediness stems from a lack of security. It stems from insecurity and all that shit. You know, but when things happen on their own naturally, you can tell. You know what I mean? There's no neediness. There's no clinginess, because just like everything just unfolds fucking organically.
Right.
I think it's just like that's why we should do away with online dating. Like fuck OkCupid, fuck eHarmony, fuck East Meets East, fuck
See,
big old.
I'm not on any of the, like, I see dating sites. I will not. Well, yeah, I wouldn't get on a dating website. Like, as far as the groups that I'm in, like, I didn't see that as to me it was just entertainment, fun or whatever. But I mean, I would never get on like Go Fish, Planet. Oh no, it's not Go Fish.
Go Fish.
Gold
POF.
Goldfish. It's called Planet of Fish. I would never get on dating websites because those are just, I've seen too many stories. I've heard too many stories. I've watched stuff on CNN. Like I just, yeah, the dating stuff, the dating websites, I don't know about that. I would do speed dating. That would be oh man, that would be something fun. Speed dating. I always wanted to try that.
I
Because you
guarantee.
would know right off the bat if you like that person or not. You'd just be like, oh God, let's hurry up and go to the next one.
But see, that's the thing though. Most women are more comfortable with, one-on-one brief interactions. What I'm trying to say is, this is another hot take of mine. So, whatever. If your little snowflake sensibilities are offended, I'm not sorry. But basically, like, I feel like people just want to fuck, right? People just want to fuck the shit out of each other, and if when they get lonely, that's when they go out on dates, because those are the two most common feelings and emotions to have in a human being. There's one, horniness, two, like loneliness, and loneliness usually comes at nighttime, right? Horniness can happen whenever. You could be fucking at work, you could be during the daytime out with your family, even the most inappropriate situations. You could feel horny or whatever, and you have that sudden urge to basically come, or to fuck the shit out of someone and come and get off, right? That's only temporary. But like when it comes to long-term stuff, everybody runs from that, because they're like, oh, like, I don't want to be in love, I don't want to hold your hand, I don't want to call you baby, and
Just
babe
want
and
to.
hun. Yeah, I mean, like it's just like, you know what? And I feel like women in general don't want to admit that most of the time they just want to fuck because it makes them look bad. It honestly doesn't make them like if I were a chick and I said I just want to fuck, it would make me look like a sexually promiscuous person, which is not good, which is shamed upon society. Men get ultimately, congratulated and put on a pedestal for, fucking as many women as they can. But
Right.
women, you guys get fucking slandered and fucking, put down and labeled slut and all that shit. All these
Yeah,
yeah,
ho and slut are the most popular words.
yeah,
Ho.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I just feel like, online dating in general should be just abolished. It should just go away. Like honestly, I think maybe
So
fucking
how do you suggest we meet people then?
just through fucking, because I feel like here's the thing, right? Biologically, here's the thing: if you fuck and you come inside, a vagina or whatever. Oh, I said vagina. It's just so weird. It feels so weird to say vagina. It's like vagina, vagina, vagina. It's just like, what is this? Like a fucking like OBGYN or something? Like I just vagina, vagina. Fucking vagina, vagina, vagina. Like you can say cock, you can say dick. When you say vagina, it's like, oh shit, cancel this motherfucker. Like I don't know, but like, fuck, what was I saying?
You're
No, no,
talking
no.
about
I was in like fucking.
vaginas.
Ultimately, fucking leads to reproduction. Ultimately, that's the only way to reproduce. If you come inside of a woman's vagina, then there's a chance, especially if they're still of age, if they're not too old or whatever, and they don't have any infertility problems, then chances are they're gonna have kids, and that's what keeps the human species going. Like most of the time, people are afraid. Oh fuck yeah! You know what I just thought? I just okay. This is awesome. Okay, right? Okay, so like, like people are afraid of intimacy. That's what they're afraid of because they're so
They're
used to
in,
they're
intimacy.
they're afraid of intimacy
Okay,
because
intimacy.
it scares them because people are used to routine and they're used to waking up and getting in the morning and taking a shower, taking a shit, whatever, and going to bed or sorry, not going to bed, going to work and then coming back and then going to bed and doing the same thing the next day. That's what they're used to. That's what they're programmed to do. But like as far as love and romance go, most people are not used to that and they're not comfortable with that. Like if you find yourself in your feelings or whatever for some guy or some girl, and you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? You try to shake yourself out of it because you know that you're more vulnerable at that stage. You know what I mean? And vulnerability, I think, in my opinion, is seen as a sign of weakness in society today, right? Like especially as a man, you want to have that machismo. You want to fucking seem stronger. You know what I mean? Protective and all that shit. And like basically like your human statue. But if you're a woman, then stereotypically, you're supposed to be more emotional, supposed to be more vulnerable. But because of what's going on in society today, most women don't want to feel vulnerable because they're like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need a man. I don't need a kid. I don't need to get married. I can just have my career and just do that and basically grow up to be a fucking goddamn cat lady. I don't know. What's your take on that?
What's my take on what? You said so many things. I'm like, what is the
Sorry,
question? I'm like, what is the question?
what is okay? Well, what's your take?
I don't
What's
even
your
think you asked.
fuck? I'm sorry. I know I hijacked this interview.
Yeah, you went
What?
off on a tangent, and I'm like, what?
I know shit. I'm sorry. It's the fucking drink. But what is your take on and what is your fuck? I have to really really think hard now. Okay, what is your take on women basically being scared to fuck? What is your take on women being afraid to be vulnerable nowadays? Like, because a lot of times, yeah. Like, what's your take on that?
On women being vulnerable?
Being afraid to be seen as vulnerable or whatever by men.
Um, I you would have to ask a woman who is actually vulnerable to get that answer. Because I mean, I'm not vulnerable, so I couldn't. Me, I couldn't answer that because I'm not vulnerable. You would have to ask a female who has,
You are a
yeah,
female.
ability.
Oh, sorry.
Because I have a wall. I keep a hard, like I have a wall. I have a guard up, so I protect myself from. Yeah, I don't let in. I show no vulnerability.
How do you?
No.
But how do you do that? I mean, I just feel like you
That's
are
my.
in,
Huh.
but you're in that position to be completely bombarded with attention from men because you're a single, Asian woman, or I mean, half whatever, mixed woman, but you're part Asian, and like Asian women are considered the most, desired women in the fucking planet. You know what I mean? Like, how do you?
But why? But why?
Why? No, that's what I asked
Yeah,
you. Fucking.
We talked about that the last interview. We talked
Yeah.
about that. When you asked me that question, how do you feel about Asian women being fetishes? And I'm like, why? Why do men fantasize? Like, what is it? I would like to know the answer to that too.
I think I've heard it's because of the stereotypes. Like a lot of non-Asian men, especially, huh?
Is it because they've heard that Asian women are freaky? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Also, they're like submissive, and that they're freaks in bed. Like they do anything,
They take care. Basically, they take care of their man. Yeah. Okay, I see where. I have heard that. Yes.
So,
but it's from the standpoint of not sexual. It's just like I've heard, like, Asian women take care of they're known to really take care of their husband.
Is that something that you like
grew up with?
Yeah, like is that something that you did for your boyfriends or whatever, your exes?
No, but I could tell you, as far as my family goes, my mother took real good care. Well, because they're still married. They got married in 1968. So, God, 50 something. It's going to go on 50 something years. But through the years when I grew up, I saw my mother, because my mother, when she moved to the U.S., she did not have to work. Like ever since the day that she moved to the U.S., my dad, my father told her, you don't have to work. So she was a stay-at-home mom and wife. But she takes really good care of my father, and she has always taken very good care. So as far as from the aspect of Asian women, well, my mother being an example, I respect her because she held the household down. She took care of my father, took care of 3 kids. Even to this very day, I give her props and I give her a lot of respect.
No, yeah, that's great. I mean, my mother's the same way too. She definitely, takes care of my dad and all that stuff.
Yes.
Not in a sexual sense, because that's fucking disgusting. I don't want to think about my parents doing it.
I know.
It's like, oh man.
I don't even want to think about it.
No, I mean, I think it's just to an extent it's a good thing that they do that, because that means that they're still into each other. But yeah, I don't want to think about my dad fucking my mom.
No.
But so what do you I guess, like, okay, I have a question, but it's like a really juicy question, but I'll save that for
it's a juicy question.
Yeah. Oh, I try to say it under my breath, but I guess you heard. But so why do you like? What am I trying to say? So okay, so you brought up, no, really, real talk. You brought up something yesterday, the other day, that I thought was really interesting, and that is that you don't necessarily, like, when it comes to like your cultural identity, like you're part Asian, part Black, like you're still, like, how you handle that is kind of a little bit sensitive or fragile, right?
Yes.
Because like you have your am I correct in assuming that you kind of have your own insecurities about that?
Yes.
Like can you talk a little bit more about that, and like how you
I mean, as far as like and I hate actually like trying to explain. I mean, you have stereotype. How can I? Basically, you have racism in the world, obviously. And so I just, what if I met a man who was racist against Black people? African Americans, and he has no idea that I'm African American because I don't possess qualities. I mean, some people can tell, but some people can't. So I'm always, what if hypothetically I met someone who, like I said, was racist against blacks, and then I have to tell him, he's like, oh, what ethnicity are you? And then I'm like, I have to say, oh, my mother's Japanese and my father's black. I'm always afraid if he's if he's stereotypical against blacks or a racist and he finds out that I'm black, I always feel that that's going to deter him away from me and find me unattractive because of that ignorance within him. That's why I'm afraid to say that I'm half black.
When you apply for jobs, how do you fill out that section of like what race are you?
I always fill out Asian.
You don't fill out black? That's very, very interesting. I can't relate. I can't relate at all because I'm fucking one race, Chinese as fuck. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's very interesting. It's also kind of, I guess, hard on you as like mixed race woman, to like feel like you can't always be upfront about certain things because of how all just like not even the positive but like all the negative implications of it. It's like It shows how fucked up we are as society, but yeah, and it's just really fucked up, like especially as an Asian person. Like I really do feel for black people. Like a lot of Asian people won't say that, but like I really do, because I feel like there's a lot of privileges that like we as Asian people have that other minorities don't have, and that's never really said out loud or acknowledged. So I'm kind of acknowledging it out loud for the first time. The Asian people have I'm not privileged, but like they basically have it better than like black people and Hispanic people do, because like economically and sexually, like, well, at least the women are like they're seen. Asian people are kind of seen as like assets to white people. Like I kind of feel like white people kind of what I mean, like, because I mean, let's be honest here. What I mean, like there's a lot of non-Asian guys that do stereotype Asian people, right? But they don't see us as threats or whatever, because we're seen as more submissive people who basically will bend over backwards for white people, because that's like the common trope or whatever. Not me though. I don't give a fuck about that. I just say whatever that I want. But like in general, yeah, that is unfortunate. So I feel for you there. But it's just like, yeah. So you think, so how do you, okay, so just like let's just like paint like a hypothetical picture here. How do you think you would get? Do you think you would get treated less than or worse than if you did did check mark African American or black, or tell people that you were part black? Like, do you think you would get? How do you think that would impact your life?
No, when I used to fill out applications, I mean, I never thought about that. I never thought like, oh, let me check Asian because I don't want to check black. It's just, I've always categorized myself as just more Asian because my features are more Asian than black. So it had nothing to do with, if I check black, this might be discriminatory, well, first of all, you're not supposed to be discriminatory. The employment, the equal opportunity employment says you can't discriminate, but I never thought about that when I was filling out applications. I was just like, you know what? I categorize myself more Asian. So I just always Asian.
Okay.
But I mean, I've had the same job for like almost 10 years. So
oh yeah, no, for sure.
I have job security, so I'm good.
Oh, well, that's great. That's great. Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to say anything, but I was just curious.
Oh, yeah, no. That was a good question. That was a good question.
So like, I know we kind of off topic, but it was like still really buzzed right now. Like, do you like? And I see the tattoos that you have. Like, what were the other? You said you had other tattoos, right?
Oh yeah, I have some below my navel. I have stars on this side, and then on my back, and then on my foot, and on my thighs. I have cherry blossoms on my thighs.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I have tattoos too, but like
you said you had 10, right?
I have technically I have them in 11 different spots though, because one of them is supposed to be sort of separated from the other because it's really long. Like right here, and then right here, shit, you can't fucking see, but like that.
Oh
Um,
yes.
yeah, so I started getting those like back in college when this is gonna sound fucked up, but like back in college when like I wanted to be less Asian and be uh,
White.
more white, basically, because I was very so that was my first time away from most Asian people that I knew and grew up with, and my roommates in college were all white, so I was like, I noticed that I was getting treated differently, so I wanted to fit in, and just plus it was also women too that was a big issue then. It's like there was this cute non-Asian girl, this cute mixed race girl that I really wanted to go after, and I felt like I would get more attention if I were to seem less Asian American and more like mainstream or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think my high school me would have ever done that, but like college me, yeah, absolutely. Like adult me, yeah. Because I'm realizing now that like it's unfortunate, but I feel like a lot of Asian men, um, are sort of just excluded from the dating market because of the stereotypes that they have. And I'm not very stereotypical at all. I mean, maybe in certain ways, but in general, like I fucking suck at math. I'm not like I
I
don't
do
think
too.
you
I
know
failed. I failed
no
geometry twice in high school and college algebra twice. Yeah. I hate math. God.
yeah I didn't do great, but
I feel you on that.
yeah. And
Asians
then
are not all Asians are good at math.
no, that yeah, that's true. And then also growing up, especially in college, like I didn't really have a whole lot of Asian friends because a lot of times I feel like Asian people didn't really want to be my friend, period. It was just like they were very cliquish and they wanted to, just only hang out with each other and just do very Asian things together. And I was like, oh,
Really?
but like I look like you guys, like why won't you accept me? And it was like
Oh,
when I got into college, it's ironic because I felt like white people treated me better than Asian people would have. And so I'm kind of feeling like, ostracized from them, but I'm kind of understanding like the whole dating like uneven ratio compared like Asian men, Asian women. Like Asian women, I feel like Asian women go to non-Asian men because of how non-Asian men might treat them culturally. Um, or maybe that's just kind of like the subtle, low-key racist, self-hating part of me. I don't know, talking or whatever. No, I'm not trying to. Obviously, I'm Asian. There's nothing I can fucking do about that, unfortunately. But like I'm just saying, self hatred and self internalized, quote unquote, self internalized racism is more prevalent in Asian Americans than it is in any other racial group in the United States. Um, I know that black people have their own issues in that community in terms of self hatred or whatever, but like Asian people, like we kind of we have like as a community, I feel like we have a lot of fucking issues, and I feel like a lot of those issues are not really they're sort of downplayed and they're not really acknowledged because of how Asian people are raised in general. We're taught to be quiet, we're taught to be submissive, and we're taught to just get good grades in school and just get a good job and go to college and all this shit. Not necessarily in that order, but just just in general, like do those things and get married and start a family because that's like the Asian way of Asian definition of success. And
right.
I couldn't even be further from that truth. Because like I told you before, like the love of my life isn't even fucking Asian American. She's basically fucking like Hispanic or Spanish or whatever. Like really whitewashed Hispanic or whatever, but it is what it is. But basically, yeah, like and I have like 11 tattoos, and I really only peaked in terms of like math wise, like in college at like algebra. Like I didn't go beyond that because I don't even fuck math. I don't even care for it. And I majored in film and media production, and I went on to work in the news. Also, it's just like there's so many things about me that like as I grow older, I can't relate to other people that look like me. But a part of me kind of does, but a part of me kind of doesn't because I feel like the grass is kind of greener on the other side. So if I get treated better by non-Asian people and life is more fun as a quote unquote non-Asian person, then why the fuck would I ever want to go back to fucking acknowledging my Asian heritage? You know what I mean? When you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, are there really any good things about being Asian other than the fact that especially for Asian women, you know what I mean, you attract a lot more, romantic attention or whatever from people? Like there's really not, right? There's really not. Number one, you might be good at math. Number two, you might know how to order more things at Asian restaurant or whatever, but that's about it. And I'm kind of, I'm an Asian guy, so I'm supposed to hate the fact that, Asian women or whatever date outside their race, but I'm actually starting to see why, like a little bit more. I know that sounds kind of ignorant as fuck, but I don't really care because it's like, it's just, I feel like, yeah, I kind of, maybe I miss my college days. I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I'm hijacking this fucking interview
maybe
for
you
you.
what? What did you say just now? Maybe you what?
No, no, I said I started, maybe like it's starting to make me miss my college
Oh,
days or whatever. But it's just like,
oh
yeah,
man,
because I didn't
college days.
go. Yeah, I didn't go to like a USC or UC school or whatever. Like all the other fucking Asian people do. Like when they go to college. Like I went to ASU, which is like a fucking party school, right? It's not like a party school for like white people. It's like what the fuck is my Asian
Yeah,
ass doing over there? Yeah, what the fuck
yeah,
am I doing there? But I still went and I still understood. I basically jumped headfirst into like white culture, and I think like a part of me has like never really looked back since. So
really.
like, but like, what do you think about it? Do you feel like stereotypically like you are typical Asian American person because you do like looking at you now, you do have a lot of Asian features, a lot more than like African American. It's like if I look at you right
Mhm.
now and I didn't know that you were part black, I wouldn't even have guessed that you were mixed.
Exactly, exactly.
So
But what
do
was
you,
the
oh
question?
sorry. Like, in what ways do you feel like you are like the stereotypical, Asian person, and in what ways do you feel like you're not the stereotypical Asian person?
Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, I have the Asian features, but as far
Mm,
as being an atypical, I mean, I mean, just the things that the way that I carry myself, the way that I portray myself. I mean, I'm just not a typical well, I can't say that. I don't even know how to answer this question.
no, that's
I don't
okay.
know how to answer it.
You might have to take
Um,
another shot or whatever, but like it's just
oh, I'm still sipping on my wine. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how to answer that. Like, so you want to know how do I feel about the concept of a typical Asian and an atypical Asian?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
mean,
what?
yeah, and also, did you have a lot of Asian friends growing up? Like, do you have a lot of Asian friends now?
No, no.
So
When
there
I
you
was
go.
growing,
High five.
high five. No, like no. When I was growing up, I don't remember having one Asian friend, and then now I have one. I mean, I'm not counting the ones on Facebook that I
Mm,
just met, but actually one that I actually, talk with and hang out with. I have one Asian friend.
mm,
Yep.
one.
And then the other ones are just on Facebook from the group that I
Okay.
just met less than a
Mm,
month ago.
mm.
But no, my circle of friends are Hispanic and white.
Oh.
And one, but like I was saying in the first interview, one black friend.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no Asian friends either. Like it's so hard to relate to them. It's just like it's so fucking hard. Like I feel like I'm getting fucked from both ways. I feel like Asian people it's just like I like what I mean, like Asian people I can't fit in with them. At the same time white people, like I don't fully fit in with them either. So it's kinda hard. But I have to admit, like, yeah, my college years are fucking awesome. My college years are fucking great. I miss college. I hate being a fucking grown up. I don't like adulting. I hate that fucking word adulting. We should throw that word adulting out along with like needy and like clingy and all that shit. Like it just sucks. Adulting is just not like when you think about it, like everyone says, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. I can't wait to start adulting or whatever. Like, why do you like when thinking about it as an adult now, why do you want to fucking be an adult? Like why like you know what I mean? Like why not just be awesome forever?
Well, like, yeah, I'm like 45 years old, but
Mm,
I don't act like I'm 45. Like I'm an adult, but I have the personality of like a 20-year-old.
mm,
And that's what makes me happy. Like I have friends that have kids that have, kids in high school. And I'm just like, I'm the only one out of all my female, friends. Actually, I only have two female friends,
uh,
but my best friend lives in Houston, but like, yeah, like when I look at them and their Facebook pictures, they're all like adult looking and they're so mature. I'm like the most immature out of all my friends. And it's because that just makes me happy. Not acting my age makes me happy.
Mm.
You know?
So like in what ways do you not act your age though?
I'm immature all around. It doesn't matter who I meet. I'm like the most immature 45-year-old person. Like, but it makes me happy. Just the way that it just makes me happy. My personality makes me happy. You know,
No,
I don't act like a typical 45-year-old.
Yeah, no,
I have responsibilities like an adult, but I just don't have the personality of a 45-year-old.
Yeah, and that's great.
Do I look 45?
No, you don't. You don't look 45. I don't think anybody watching this video will ever comment on the fact that you look your age, because I don't think, like, no way in fuck, like, no way in hell. But
Yeah.
no, I think it's great because I think older women are fucking better at, like, everything. I think older women are awesome, actually. I think actually, yeah, like in my experience, like I said.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I'll talk after you. Me personally, I like younger guys.
Oh, okay.
Like, I will date somebody who's like 20 years younger than me. Like,
so you would date a 25-year-old? Like, really?
I would, yes. Because that's what makes me happy. That's what makes me smile. You know, I just like the younger generation. But I mean, you have to be mature, of course. You know, you can't be dumb. And yeah, but yeah, I would date somebody who was like 20 years younger than me. Actually, I have dated somebody who was not dated, sorry, just had fun with.
You had sex.
Yeah, yes, there you go. Yes, okay. Conjugal visits, yes.
It's okay. We're on a fucking drinking stream or video right now. It's nobody gives a shit. Like, but but like, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I personally thought that older women were better at sex than younger women are, because younger women, like, I mean, I remember one of my exes, she didn't even ever want to do doggy style. Like, she always wanted to fuck missionary, and she was only she was like 4 years younger than me, so it wasn't that big an age difference. But she's a pretty immature person. I just felt like younger women in general are kind of still, like, in their quote unquote like hoe phase or whatever. But like, if you're in your quote unquote hoe phase, like, why wouldn't you want to do doggy? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want to do stuff like that? Like, and older women are always down to pretty much do everything. Like, literally, like, the times that I've made like women squirt or whatever, it's like it's always an older woman, because you can't ask your younger girlfriend or 20-something your girlfriend, hey, like, can I make you squirt, or can you still squirt or whatever? Like, they'll be like, oh, like, gross, like, I don't want to do that stuff. Like, older women, like, yeah, let's go to, like, yeah,
because older women are what you call seasoned. That's the word to use. They're seasoned.
No, you know what? And no, they are, and they know what they're doing in bed, which brings me to my next topic. Like, older women give better head in general than younger women do.
You think so?
Yeah, they do. Younger women are just like, right. Older women are like, they take their time. They go up and down the shaft. Like, they fucking take the balls.
See, that's exactly what I do. So that's funny that you should say that, because I do a lot. Yeah, you have to do this, and you have to grab the balls, and you have to go like this, and yeah.
So when you do it, do you take your time doing it, or you just like, come on, like, let's just come already?
No. It's I'm very, passionate, sensual. So when I'm doing it, I'm just like just sensually and sexy and just like, just like, yeah.
When you do it, do you, because I find a lot of older women do this, like, do you like looking at your man, like making eye contact when you do that?
No, that I don't like doing.
You don't like doing that?
No.
Wow.
That's like, to me, I'll start like, if I look you in your eyes, like, I don't know, you see that in the movies, but like, I've tried to do that one time. Well, more than once I've tried, but I just end up like, I don't know. I feel very uncomfortable.
Like,
very uncomfortable.
I feel like foreplay and stuff like that, like going down on like for women going down on men and guys going down on women. Like I love going down on women. Like I love that. Like one of my favorite things to do is to go down on women, and like I love like taking both of like her pussy lips or whatever and like sucking them both, and then I shoot my tongue right up the fucking twat, like right in the middle. So it's like the woman is getting it from all sides. She's getting it from left and right, and then she's getting it right up her fucking pussy. Like, do you feel like are you the type of woman who like enjoys being pleasured more or like giving pleasure?
Okay, ask that question again.
Do you like getting okay, this is kind of probably a hypothetical question, but are you the type, do you get more pleasure out of giving pleasure or receiving pleasure?
It I always like, if I'm performing oral, I mean, that's what turns me on. I mean, if I receive, I'm going to give. You know what I mean? I reciprocate. I'm just not going to, let you do me and me not reciprocate. Like I have never, that's never been me. It's like, you take care of me, I'm going to take care of you. But like, yeah, if I'm going to town, if I'm going to town on you, that turns me on,
Mm-hmm.
that gives me secretions down there coming out. So yeah, like, yeah, of course. I think any woman, if she's performing oral, she's gonna get all wet too. Yeah, that's natural.
So like, have you done like, okay, like the most common question would be like the most easiest way to get pleasure and to give pleasure would be doing a 69. Have you done that before?
Of course. Who hasn't? Who hasn't done 69?
Some people just like talking about it. Some people don't like actually do it. I'm telling you, a lot of the women that I've met are very kind of boring in bed. Like they're just kind of there, you know. But like
No.
you know what? Like I feel like sex should basically just replace dating altogether. You know what I mean? Because dating, there's more expectations. After you fuck each other, like you don't know what's gonna happen. You feel like maybe you start to like the person or whatever. And maybe that person accidentally gets pregnant or whatever. I mean, you don't know. Like things kind of need to transpire on their own. But like well, so yeah. So anyway, so when it comes, yeah, like I said, I think older women get better. They're better in bed in general, but they definitely get better head than like younger women. You know what I mean?
Because they have more, yeah, because they're, like I was saying, because they're seasoned and they have more experience than a younger person. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that too. I agree with that too.
So when it comes to like cum and all that shit, like do you like because a lot of women tell me, I've asked a lot of women this, like a lot of women say like they don't like to swallow. Like a lot of women just take a fucking tissue or bath towel or whatever, just clean it up. Like what do you what do you prefer? Like swallow or just like get rid of it?
I do whatever the mood calls for. I mean, I swallow, I let it squirt on my face. It's not a good thing when it goes in your eye, because it really hurt. Like if you get it in your eye, it hurts. Like I've had it squirt in my eye a few times, like more than a few. It literally hurts. But no, it just depends. I mean, on my chest, in my face. Yeah. And then, I swallow. It just depends on what kind of mood it is. Yep. But what I don't like is cum that's clumpy. Like usually cum is like liquidy, but I've had some where it's like clumpy and thick. Oh God. But I can't show any kind of disgust on my face. So I have to like swallow it. I can't take clumpy, thick cum. Oh God. But I mean, I swallow it still.
So do you think that's a reason why you like going out, or you just told me you don't mind going, you like going out with younger guys because like they have more energy? Like stereotypically younger guys have more energy than older guys do in bed.
No, I just prefer younger guys. I mean, yeah, it has nothing to do with the sex, the in bed stuff. It's just,
right. Well, no, that has something to do with it. Something to do with it.
Well, but yeah, no.
Well, like older, but I've heard like older guys just literally just fuck once and they're like, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm gonna go lay down." Tired.
Like, I've never had like I think I've dated, not dated. I had sex with somebody who was a couple years older than me, but no, he was a go-getter. He was like, after one time, he was like, let's go again. So, I mean, every man that I've slept with that's been older than me, I mean, he's wanting to do it more than I. See, I'm not a multiple orgasm person. Like once I orgasm, once I orgasm, you can't touch me. Like it just feels icky. Like if you try to touch me and try to go, no, once I come, I'm good. I'm not a multiple orgasm. So I'm good for just one time, but then you have these others that just, let's do it again. And I'm like, I can't. I already can't. You're gonna have to wait like either a couple of hours or in the morning. I'm not a multiple orgasm person.
So like, what would you say? Like, what move or whatever? Like, when what move like gets you out the most? Because a lot of women say that you ask them like, what's their favorite sexual move to have, and like most of them will say doggy style. Which is ironic because I've never had that much. But yeah, what do you think?
I personally don't. To me, I don't really like doggy style, not because it's not enjoyable. It's just like I have to look at you. Like when I'm having sex with you, I have to see your face. I have to see your chest. Mm-hmm. So I like just the my legs. I'm kind of flexible, so I like when my legs are like this and like you're just, you know what I mean?
It's like just
like if I'm laying on my back, like if I'm laying on my back and you have both of my legs like this, you're holding my legs and then you're going like that. Yeah. And then I'm holding your chest or, or just grabbing your neck, just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a first. I've heard most women say that they just like doggy style or whatever, getting it from behind.
No, I have to visually see you because that's more passionate,
Yeah, no, for sure. And on that note, I feel like eye contact is extremely important. Yes. When you're having sex. It's so underrated because facial expressions are everything. Like for me personally, I can't really get into it unless a woman, is like.
Unless you see the pleasure on her face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like for you, like, are you very like expressive? Do you feel like that's?
Oh yeah, I probably look stupid I probably look stupid during sex.
Hey, well, no, everybody has like their sex faces or whatever, but
right.
So like I guess. That's interesting. So you really are like you don't like as far as stamina goes, like you don't think like you have that much?
I don't have stamina. I don't like I could be on top of you and just like go in and I will get tired easily. Like I don't have stamina.
Wow.
I don't.
Well, okay.
Nope.
That's interesting because I've heard like the opposite. Usually it's like the woman, like especially like older women, like not more mature women, I should say. Like they prefer the younger guys because younger guys are better, last longer time in bed. Like I remember like I was talking to a friend of mine and like she was telling me how she's hooking up with this married dude. I'm not gonna give her name away, but like that guy made her come, like they would go for like 5 hours sometimes.
Oh,
she'd have to bring like fucking like it was like raging waters in that motherfucker. Like she would have to bring like tons of fucking towels and lay them all over the fucking hotel bed. Everything like that because like the whole place would be fucking soaked in like fucking juices and shit like that. So but yeah, I just it's interesting because I've heard like a couple of women tell me in like my dating experience that like they get wet like literally just from talking with me, like not necessarily just from like fucking or having sex with me, but just from talking. Do you feel like is that the same for you? Do you feel like you get turned on just from conversation alone, or does it have to be just like purely physical?
No, it's I have gotten wet just from having normal conversations because it's who you're talking to, that they're attractive, you're obviously attracted to them. So yeah, when I've had certain conversations with men, yeah, I get wet because I'm talking to somebody who's attractive and we're having a certain conversation, and yeah, I can get wet just from talking. Yes.
Well, that's cool. So, do you feel like just like honest questions? It's probably it was too personal, to ask me. Have you yourself picked up guys or like is it usually like the guys like usually picking you up?
I don't ever hit on anyone. Like usually I'm minding my own business and then I get hit on, but I've never hit on anyone.
So like when you get hit on, like where are you usually? Like are you out in public or like where are you?
It's, you know what? It's at random places. Like I had posted something. Somebody had posted something. Yeah. One of the questions was, where do you meet people? And my response was, I like meeting people in random places, like at the grocery store. I love going to the grocery store. And if I can see an attractive man trying to pick out some steaks for the dinner and just like, I mean, I just like meeting men in random places, but that's where it happens. It happens at the grocery store, gas station. I mean, I meet men in random places. And then at the bar, usually, you can tell when somebody's eyeballing you, but they won't come up to me because I'm with my male friend and they think my male friend and I are together. So, but I can usually tell when somebody's, because I'm making eye contact with him too, but he won't come up to me because he thinks that's my significant other or boyfriend. Yeah.
That's interesting. So do you feel like, okay, let's go back to the eye contact thing, because I feel like a lot of women in general, they send out signals to guys, and then sometimes they do it like not on purpose. They're not even trying to send out signals. Like when you're like trying to send out signals, right? And you see like a guy or whatever, like you think is attractive, like what is the look that you give them? Like, can you like give me that look? Or like, what is that look? Like, because like here's the thing. Yeah.
Good.
No, sorry. Go on.
Good.
Are you going?
No, I don't, like it's not like in the movies. Like me, honestly, if I see somebody that's attractive, it'll just be like you look at each other and you both look down, and then you look at each other and you both look down. That's how it usually is with me. It's just you make eye contact and then you look the other way, and then a couple minutes go by, you make eye contact again. Like, yeah, and then sometimes I'll go to the bathroom on purpose just to like when I come out, and then I look in that direction to see if he's watching me as I walk out of the bathroom.
So does that work for you though?
I never get hurt. I'm just real subtle about it. I don't, I'm not like, giving that. No, it's real subtle. It's real subtle. When you keep looking at each other, like when you're having a conversation and then, you just keep looking in that person's direction, you know that you're attracted to each other. So you don't have to give those certain looks,
Right. So how long is it before like someone acts on it? Like whether you act on it or he acts on it, like how long does it usually take, like, on average, like for a guy to, like approach you,
Oh, well, I mean, it never happens at the bar because I'm usually with my male friends. So,
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they never come up to me at the bar. So,
and
so
like,
I couldn't give you an answer for that.
No, it's okay. It's all good. So what do you feel, I guess, like, what am I trying to say? Okay, so like for all the guys watching this, like sexually speaking, like as a woman, like what is the one move or one spot that like turns you on the most? You know what I mean? Like just in general. I mean, I don't know if it applies to other women as well, but like in general, like what's the move that, if there is such a thing or whatever, and it's done to you, like that gets you off the most or turns you on the most?
When I'm having intimacy or sex, I usually like I don't come by intercourse. I come by oral stimulation. Yeah, I cannot come just from you being inside me unless my clitoris is rubbing on your little, your belly area below your navel. Unless that's rubbing up against you, I will not come with just regular intercourse. I come orally by oral stimulation or with your fingers. And then what I personally like is, I like if you're down there, you have to be messing with my nipples.
Oh, okay.
That is the only way. Yeah, I like, yeah, you got to be down there. And then you also have to be, touching my breast and touching my nipples.
And see, that's the thing.
And then I like my breast, the breast. Oh, I love these to be kissed, and such pleasure. Yes.
You like it when like guys like suck on your nipples and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, obviously,
That
yeah,
I
that was a
like. Yeah.
foregone question or
That
conclusion.
that
But
that that's a must. Like if you don't do that, like if we have sex and you don't do that, that yeah, you have to.
so
That's my
you're
that's my preference.
right. So you're saying that you're more like a lot of it is like foreplay for you. Like you enjoy like the foreplay, like the
I like
stimulation.
that. Yes, I have to have foreplay. I have to
Mm,
have foreplay.
that's
Yes.
nice. I love foreplay too. I feel like yeah, I've hooked up with a lot of older like not a lot but like a few older women, and like the number one thing that I do, I love them getting me off, but I also love getting them off, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like for me personally there's nothing sexier than like getting an older woman off, because it's like older women, you feel like, you know, they have more life experience and no more, you know, composed, and they carry themselves well, more maturely. But like if you can break them down sexually to the point where they're just like they're coming or they're fucking squirting or whatever, orgasming, like that's just like I feel like so much more like power is like given to me. You know what I mean? I feel like more dominant, and I feel like, you know,
Right.
like okay, like, you know, I like sexually broke this woman. You know what I mean? Because now her fucking juices are flowing, and now just because she's coming down her leg and shit like that, and she's like sitting there breathing heavily with her like tits up in the fucking air, and they're all fucking hard as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's like for me as like a younger guy still, like I feel like that's like I love doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can't. There's certain stuff you can do with an older woman that doesn't have the same meaning as like with a girl my age or younger woman. Because I feel
That
like
is
girls,
true.
yeah. Because I feel like girls my age are very. They're even, I don't know, particular. I won't say that word, but like they're very. They just not that much fun in bed. Like like older women. I remember I fucked an older woman once, and she like we did 69 for like almost a half hour, before like either or before I came. She came like several times, but I didn't come like right away. And that was awesome because it's kind of funny. So like real talk, like I've actually learned how to like hold back from coming right away, like, and that makes the sex last so much longer than it was, you know, because usually people come like, oh, I came, I'm done, like get off me or
Right.
whatever, you know what I mean? I want to take a
Right.
shower because I feel dirty. And it's like, no, like I like to keep it going, because what's the point of only fucking someone for like, you know, 20 minutes or so? Like why not for like an hour? Why not for like 2 hours? You know what I mean? Imagine if
Oh
you're there.
dang.
Yeah,
I can't
imagine.
do 2 hours.
No, like what's the longest you've ever gone?
Oh God. Probably an hour.
An hour?
An
Yeah, that's
hour.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't think I don't have the endurance and stamina to do more than an hour. No, because you
Mm.
have to factor in foreplay. Foreplay takes a good couple of minutes, and then the actual intercourse. So I would say an hour for me.
So you feel, do you would I be accurate in assuming that like foreplay gets you off more than actual sex?
Yes.
Hmm,
Yes.
that's very
Yep.
interesting.
hmm
So
Like I
like,
could do foreplay. I can do foreplay and then not have intercourse.
mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah, no,
Just
for
all
sure.
the oral stimulation from both sides. You don't actually have to have intercourse. You can just perform oral on each other, just the foreplay part.
Yeah, no, for sure.
hmm
And when it comes to like, I guess when it comes to actual intercourse, like, are you like, do you like hard, like rough sex, or like kind of like just non regular sex?
It depends on the mood. It depends on the mood. Sometimes I like passionate,
Hmm.
rough. I like where you're grabbing my hair and you're pulling it. You're pulling my neck back and just like yeah. It depends on the mood. Sometimes I like it rough, and sometimes I like it soft and sensual and sexy and passionate.
Hmm.
It all depends on the mood and who it is you're doing it
So like
with.
when you're like do you like getting smacked on your ass? Like is that something like
That
guy
I
like,
don't like. Yeah, that I don't like. Yeah,
you don't
I'm
like that?
more of a no. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I'm more of a like a sensual, passionate, sexy type of. Yeah, I don't like that slapping on the ass stuff.
Hmm.
No.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, honestly, I kind of actually do agree with you there. It's like, you know, like I said, I love getting older women off. It's like, you know, like you said before, you know, like sucking on the tits or whatever, sucking on nipples. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's fun because it's like, I mean, not that I'm trying to like suck her milk out or whatever, but it's like it is fun because like you ever do that thing? I don't know if like has a guy ever done that where like he like to you when you guys are fucking or whatever and like he squishes both your boobs together and he tries to take both like your nipples like in at once and like suck on them at once?
Oh no, I've never had that. No.
Yeah, I've done that's I love that shit. That's fucking fun.
Like
Um
my breasts are small, so that's not even possible. My breasts are small, so you couldn't even do that.
it could happen with anyone. I mean, it just depends on how good their oral skills are, I guess. Um but so okay, so on the topic of foreplay, like you enjoy like kissing and stuff, like French kissing and stuff, like is that
So there has to be kissing. There has to. I can't like, yeah, I love kissing.
mm.
I love kissing. Yes, there has to be kissing.
What about like kissing on the neck or like biting on the neck or like, you know,
I don't
earlobe?
like biting. No, I don't like biting. I don't like my lip being bit. I don't like my neck being bit because some of them bite too hard, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't like that. It's not pleasurable. So,
Mm.
mm, nope.
Okay,
But
so
like,
you're
yeah, kissing, like this area right here. Yeah,
mhm.
like if you get me right here, like, yeah.
um okay, so you know how like I've also talked to like some women like they like being rubbed on certain places of their body, like right, like you know, like on their belly or like right, like the small of their back or whatever. Do you have like a G spot that like kind of yeah? Do you have a G spot basically?
No, I don't have G spots. Nuh-uh. But I mean, I do like on my back, I like if I'm laying on my belly, I just like to feel your fingers like just go up and down my back. It just gives
Mm-hmm.
me chills, it's a
Mm-hmm.
pleasurable feeling. Yeah. But I don't really have any G spots.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Are you typically like very responsive? Like are you loud like in bed and stuff or
No, I'm quiet.
you're very quiet?
Yeah, I'm
You're not a
quiet.
moaner? Like you don't moan a lot?
No, not really. I'm very quiet.
Hmm.
Very
You would
quiet.
you would say that like you would say that you are you would you say that you're like expressive like in your face like and stuff like that
Oh
like when you're
yeah, see,
enjoying it?
yeah. I mean, you'll be able to tell if I'm liking it or not. Yeah, my facial expressions, you'll be able to tell. But as far as me making noise and moaning and stuff, I mean, I do moan, but I mean, I'm not like loud. I'm a
Mm,
quiet person.
mm. Yeah, to me that's actually really like that's really good. That's really attractive because it's like you know what I mean. Like it leaves more to the imagination. Like I've had sex with, like women who are really fucking loud, and you
Oh,
couldn't
see that
necessarily yeah.
it ruined like it just kind of ruins the moment. All that yelling and louding, moaning
Yeah,
and loud, yeah, it just throws stuff off. I think, but some men like that.
yeah,
Some,
and I
like in porn movies, that's what happens in the pornography. All those women are just acting and, like, yeah, moaning loudly and yeah.
well, that's the thing too. It's like you can't really tell. Not that it's necessarily been an issue with me or anything, but like a lot of guys are complaining, and you can't tell when like the girls come, you know, faking it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Like that's a big thing. Like yeah.
go ahead. And I'm gonna tell you something about that. But go
So
ahead.
yeah, no. Well, I'll just finish it by saying that it's easier, I think, in my opinion, for girls to fake it than it is for guys.
Okay. So the way that when females come or
Hmm.
orgasm,
Hmm.
they're inside their vagina, it
Hmm.
contracts.
Hmm.
So the only way to know if she's faking it is just you have to feel that. If you don't feel contraction,
Hmm.
like if you're inside her
Hmm.
and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna come," you should be able to feel like if she comes, her vagina should be contracting like this.
Hmm.
So if you don't feel that contraction, then that means she's faking it.
So
Have
like,
you?
yeah, no, I have.
Yeah,
I mean, I have. So
yeah.
like,
Like you have to pay attention to that, and you can feel it. So if you don't feel it contracting, then
mhm.
she's not coming because every vagina contracts when you come.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've heard that before, and I've felt it too. It's just
Yes.
so like for you, like, okay, yeah, yeah, that is really good, helpful tip. So for all the guys watching this, yeah, just take that into
So
consideration.
like if your girl says she's gonna come, if your you know penis is still inside her when she says she's coming, all
Yeah,
you got to do is just feel the contraction, or just stick your fingers in her real quick. If she says I'm gonna come, stick your fingers in her real quick. And if you don't feel the contraction, she's not coming.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. So when you come, like, are you very like, how does your body react? Are you more like, do you come hard, or do you just kind of like just lay there, just kind of let it pass?
It depends on how the sex is going. If it's passionate and intense, then I will have an intense orgasm.
Mm,
If not, then I'll just have a regular orgasm. It just depends on how intense the sex is.
mm.
And then
Yeah.
while I'm coming, you cannot touch my clitoris. You cannot mess with it. You have to let it finish its process. And then I have to sit there and wait for a little bit while it contracts
Yeah.
and stops. And yeah, you cannot touch my clitoris while I'm orgasming. It'll just ruin it. You have to just leave. You just have to leave it alone.
But on that,
So,
like,
because it's like when you say, "Oh, I'm gonna come," and then it hits. Some guys still want to keep rubbing it while you're orgasming, and it just ruins it.
mm-hmm.
You just gotta. When she's like, "I'm gonna come," and you first feel that contraction. You have to just leave the clitoris alone. Just let her do its thing, and just don't be messing with her while she's coming. Well, that's just me personally, though. I don't know about any other woman.
So has it happened before where guys like try to, like, like touch your clitoris or whatever when you were coming, or feel it?
Yes, and it ruins the orgasm. It honestly ruins the orgasm. For me, it does. It ruins it. So when I'm coming, I'm like, they try to touch it, and I'm like, no, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
No, that's great. I mean, yeah, that's really helpful to know. Let's see here. So what's like like, if any, what's like the most random place that you've like done it?
Um, Probably just a car in a middle school parking lot, and then we got caught.
Oh, okay.
Because there was like, I guess they had like a security. See, he wasn't even dressed in a security uniform. I guess he was there doing maintenance or something. I want to say it was a maintenance guy, probably. No, just in the back of a car. Just in the back of a car. Yeah, that's all. I can't think of any other places that I've had sex that are unusual places.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, for me, the same. It's usually just
I
like,
think we tried to do it on a beach on a blanket, but I was just so uncomfortable thinking like people were going to be, walking on the beach, picking up, seashells and stuff. Like, yeah, I think we tried to do it on the beach, but yeah, I'm like, no, that wasn't cut. That was very uncomfortable. So I asked like, hey, can we stop? Can we just go back to the room and do it in the room? Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm starting to see your point about like just sort of like living with that like younger mindset, you know what I mean? Because they're kind of understanding it's like, you know what I mean, like you can enjoy things like sex and no strings attached, better than you can if you were, had a family or whatever. But like, do you feel like, what's the thing I'm trying to say? Are you the type? Have you ever had sex on a first date?
One night stands, yes. When I used to date military guys back in my 20s. Yeah. I would have sex, like I would meet, well, actually not on the first date, actually, but well, no, I take that back. Yeah, we would meet and then we would go out. Yeah, and then we'd have sex. Yeah. Yeah. But then I would continue to still talk to that person. No, it wasn't like, oh, have sex and never hear from that person again. We would have sex, but then we would continue to talk. Like there's never been a time where I had sex with someone and didn't talk to them the next day.
Right. That's interesting. I can't say the same for me, but yeah, that's interesting. It's like, so what about, okay, so I just have a question. Like, what is the difference for you between having sex with an older guy and having sex with a younger guy? Like, what are the benefits and, I guess, cons or whatever, pros and cons?
I've only had sex with one older guy, actually. And I mean, there was really no difference. I mean, the older guy was seasoned, just like we were talking about earlier. The women are, older women are seasoned. He was seasoned and he would want to go multiple times. So, I mean, I've never seen a difference in the sexual part of it as far as young versus old. I've never seen a difference.
Hmm.
Well,
Okay.
actually, the only difference I have seen is, the young ones really don't know what they're doing. And then they try to do it fast. And like, it's just like fucking. And it's not, there's, you know what I mean? It's not passionate. It's just like fucking. And it's like, yeah. But
So,
I mean,
okay.
I like younger guys. So that is a problem. I mean, that is a problem, I guess. Yeah. But not every young one is like that though. So
No. And I definitely feel like me, like personally, whenever I've hooked up with like older women in the past, it's like, I prefer older women because they like actually lying down or sitting there and like being pleasured. You know what I mean? And they actually enjoy things that younger women don't. Like for instance, older women love it when I rub my fingers like right at like down like from their feet to their thighs, right to like their pussy. You know what I mean? And I don't do it in an aggressive way. I'm not like, oh, I'm trying to get your pussy right away. I'm like, I'm trying to work my way up to there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to go very, like, rub it from the fucking toes up right from like the thighs to like the fucking crotch. You know what I mean? It's just like, as you do that, like I do it, but I do it sort of like back and forth. I do it very slowly,
right.
Because I feel like older women,
You do it sensually. You just do it sensually. Yes.
absolutely. And I've learned this way of like rubbing your full palm against like the pussy or vagina or whatever, and just doing like kind of like that, like this hand with the pussy, this is my hand, like just going like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit. And then if you do that too, like that's a good way of like getting like a woman to squirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel
I don't like that. That spank. I don't like that. I like the nice, the soft and like, just the like that. Or like this. I don't like that.
No, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I've done that before, but I've also done that.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like that. That doesn't turn me on. I don't know.
So like, what? Okay, but like would this turn you on? If like some guy, you know what I mean? Like we're like doing that, rubbing his fingers or whatever, up from your toes, to, like your pussy, and like rubbing it at the same time. Like he bends over, right? He sits up and he starts sucking on like your left tit or right tit or whatever, and like he's doing that shit, like that shit would probably get you off, right? Because that's more slow and
because all that's foreplay. Yeah, but you have to do it soft and I mean, every woman's different, but if you're going to do that with me, it has to be soft. It has to be sensual. It can't be rough. It can't be fast. I like soft. That's what turns me on. The soft touch, the sensual touch.
Yeah, I completely agree. I wish like more girls my age were like that. I feel like a lot of younger girls just kind of want just like quick and easy and just like hard and fast, which is like, so by the way, I just noticed that you have a fucking like poster of like some, what is that, like some K-pop or something like that, like right behind you?
That's Jungkook from BTS.
Okay. So obviously, like I said, probably have a lot of Asian men watching this video by the time I post or whatever. Like, so like so just putting it out there, so you've never had sex, you never had fucked like an Asian guy, right? Never had sex with an Asian
the friend that works at the gas station, remember I was telling you, my Filipino friend,
that guy
that works at the gas station. I've had sex with him. Actually, he's coming over this Friday because he's going to New York for a month, so he asked if he could come over before he leaves, so I told him yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
I have a sexual, but he's one of the ones where you can have sex and just no strings attached.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends like that.
No, yeah, absolutely, 100%. But so what do you like? What, I guess, what am I trying to say? So yeah, so you've never done anal, like, ever?
Yes.
You have done anal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have. Yes, I've had. Yes.
And I'm guessing that you didn't enjoy that. Is that why you don't like it?
I mean, I've had it more than once, and if you have to put it in a certain. First of all, the woman, me personally, I have to be laying, in order for it not to be uncomfortable, I have to be laying on my back, because when you're laying on your back, if you're on your knees, you're kind of like being constricted. So that area is real tight. So, but if I'm on my back, it's loose. You're not constricted, and it's easier to go in. But if you're too big, I mean, it's very uncomfortable. So if you're too big, there's a problem with it going in. But if you're small, I can take it, and then but you have to do it slow. Some would just want to ram it in there, and I'm like, you can't do that. You have to slowly put it in there and then go in and out. So if you're small, it's easy. It's easier. It's not pleasurable.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you got to be small. If you're going to put it in the butt, you got to be small. Because big is it's not pleasurable at all. It's actually uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. Well, on that note, I'm gonna end this interview because I know it's kind of getting late for you over there.
11 o'clock.
Right, but I did have. Wait, what time is it? It's not even 11, is it? Over there.
It's 10:52.
Okay, sorry. Well, if it's okay with you, I'm just gonna ask a couple more questions really quickly because I thought it was a lot later over there. But is that okay?
Yes, of course. Yes, okay. Of course.
So, like, what am I trying to say? Okay, so these are kind of sensitive questions, but fuck, I'm gonna ask them anyway. Have you ever hooked up with another woman?
Yes.
And what was that experience like for you?
I am attracted, and I'm going to say attracted. Mm-hmm. I'm attracted to the ones that look like men.
Really?
The ones, yeah. Prime example, there was a female. I thought she was a guy. Mm-hmm. And that was actually my first experience, actually. So you know what? No, there's only one. It was one.
Okay.
I thought she was a guy. And I was just like, oh, what the hell? I mean, she portrays herself as a male. Her mentality is a male. Yeah. So we hooked up, and we had a thing going for a little bit.
So did she, in that instance, like, did she use like a strap on at all?
Yes, she wanted. Yeah, we went to the Megaplex in Texas. Well, in San Antonio, we have what's called the Megaplex. That's the adult sex store. So yeah, she would want to go and buy, the penises and the strap, the little harness. Not the harness. No, we never bought the harness. We always bought the underwear where you put the dick in, and she literally, she just carried herself like a guy. So yeah, it was just like, even though she had the boob, even though she had the vagina and the boobs, like she literally carried herself as a male person. So.
And in that instance, did you do oral to her? Did you provide oral sex to her?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
I was just wondering because it's a woman, it's not a man. So, but no, that's cool. I'm not judging at all. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So sorry. So I think I might have asked you this before, but so I'm sorry if it did. But have you squirted before?
No, I'm not a squirter.
Not a squirter.
It's just, mine just oozes out. Like it just oozes out. It doesn't squirt. It oozes out.
What do you mean, like oozes out? Like, is it in terms of like gooey?
Like it drips out. Like if I'm really, really wet, it'll just come out and it'll just be really, really wet down there.
That's cool. So like, what kind of have you, like, in terms of like getting wet and stuff like that? Like, have you, I guess, because for me, like, one of the most fun things to do is like do phone sex and stuff. Have you done that a lot, like in the past, or with your boyfriends or whatever?
The only time I've done phone sex was in 2015 when I met on Facebook. I had a friend on Facebook. It was a mutual friend of his. We had a relationship for about 2 years. Okay. So we would have phone sex. I mean, of course I would go visit him, but the times where we weren't together, we would have phone sex. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, I guess on that note, are you a big, like, do you like masturbate a lot? Because I know, like, obviously during phone sex, that's what you do. But like in general, is that something that you do?
I do masturbate. I haven't masturbated lately because I've just been really busy with work and reading all the posts on the groups and stuff. So I really haven't thought about, I haven't even thought about masturbating, but yeah, I do. That is something I do.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then when I do watch porn, it's usually a woman. It's weird.
No, go on.
It's always oral. It always has to be oral, either the man giving the woman oral or a woman on woman oral. That's what I get off to.
Right. And I know that you say you're not loud in bed, but like in oral, like, is that also the case? Like, are you ever loud, or do you ever like
No.
No?
I mean, there's times where if you're doing it really well, no, I take that back. I mean, I'll grab your head. I mean, if you're performing oral and it's really, really good and intense, I'll grab your hair and just like,
you grab her hair.
Do that. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like grabbing your hair, just like pulling down your pussy or something?
I would grab your head and I would just push it like in more, like, because it's so good. Like if it's intense. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So what would you say, like, for you are turnoffs in bed?
Have I ever experienced a turn off in bed? No. I mean, I'm not a really picky person. I've never had any problems with, my sex partners. So what's a turn off for you in bed?
Turn off for me is when a woman seems kind of disinterested, or just kind of like not disinterested, but like she's not as, I guess, like reactive, or she's not really engaging in sex. You know what I mean? Like I feel like women who are kind of there, you can't like, that's the problem with a lot of younger women too. I feel like they're there just to basically get them off directly, and it's not as like a reciprocating type of process. You know what I mean? Like with older women, it's like, it's almost like you have to work, it's not really a challenge, but like it's just fun. Like for me, like I don't know what to say. It sounds kind of, I'm not trying to sound sadistic or anything like that, but like I do genuinely enjoy getting older women off, because it's just like, I don't know, like I mean, I have a thing for MILFs, or like I have a thing for like older women, but I just like when I see an older woman, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like I know, like you said that, you're like in your mid-40s or whatever. When I see like an older woman in mid-40s or even older than that, like I like that, because it's just like, for me, I just picture like nothing sexier than like older women, attractive older women, but like poolside in like a fucking like, bikini or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's really fucking attractive, because you see all these girls in their 20s and all the whatever, and they're trying to act sexy. They're trying to, like pose for the Instagram or whatever account. But it's like most of the time, like, everybody does that. And it's so nice to see someone like kind of like a MILF, not even a MILF, but like just like a MILF age, you know what I mean? Like mid-40s or like late 30s or whatever, who's like, technically you don't usually see that, you know what I mean? But like you see them and like they're wearing something more revealing. Like to me, that's more appealing, because like honestly, like for me, it's the first time I'm saying this on this channel, but like I like going to the strip club. I like having a good time, basically. I love going to the strip club. And my favorite stripper there is actually like in her mid-40s or so, and she's part Asian, and she's mixed actually. She's kind of like a mutt. I know I said that word again. Like she is a mutt, and I love getting her off. I love doing that palm thing to her pussy, because like of the sounds and all the faces that she makes. You know what I mean? She's not like, she is a mature older woman, but she's like a hot ass like older woman, like Asian babe. And like I don't know, it's just like something like innate in me that like turns me on so much, that like, you know what I mean? Like I don't go as far as actually like whip my dick out and like fuck her right there. But like I feel like fucking like almost like coming in that situation, because it's like, that's so sexy. You know what I mean? Like that image of like older women, you know what I mean? Like you, for example, like saying that you like sensual stuff like that. Like that's like, to me, that's so fucking sexy. Because it's like, it's not like a guy just trying to get his dick, like ram his dick in your pussy or whatever, and he's trying to fuck the shit out of you, and then he leaves like 5 minutes later. Like
exactly.
I love all the intimate details. I love the intimate details, from like the fucking sweat, like that accumulates over like a woman's body, from her chest to like her tits. You know what I mean? To like how her face like you know what I mean, like orgasms or whatever, like her O faces. Oh my god, like there's nothing sexier to me than like a woman like orgasming and you look at her faces. That's what I'm saying about
Yeah.
like eye contact. Like I love it when the eyes go wide and the mouth opens wide. You know what I mean? And you can tell like that woman is like fucking like enjoying it and she's getting off. You know what I mean? And it's like you think about it, like this woman is like she's older, mature, whatever. And she probably has kind of like very like routine life, but like she's like a freak in the sack. You know what I mean? And I love that. You know what I mean? And like as I've gotten older, like I've learned more tricks about how to get women off, especially older women off. You know what I mean? And like I love that. Like I love it. I just love it.
Yeah.
Like whenever I go to the strip club, it's always about a woman. I always get the same lap dance from the same woman I just described, and I love it because she gives me like she knows how I like it. She knows that I like it slow and very sensual. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And she's very sexual. You know what I mean? She's not like these girls that are like just like boom boom like just like
Right.
wham, just completely done. It's like going fast and
Right.
aggressive. That's just, it's nothing sexy. There's nothing fun about that. You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So like
I agree.
yeah, exactly. And like have you ever given a guy a lap dance before?
Oh God, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I tried to be sexy, but I just look so stupid doing it. So I don't do that
Mm.
because it just doesn't look right when I do it. Like I have no rhythm. I have no, I've tried it before, but it's not sexy when I do it.
Well, how do
It's
you do
really
it?
not.
Like how do you move?
Huh?
Like how do you do it? Like how do you move? Like you know what I mean? What is because I feel like I said, I feel like a lot of older women, they know obviously like you sound like you know what you're doing in bed. I'm not doubting that. But like I'm just saying like in general, like the way they move, they don't move like a younger woman would. Right.
Right.
So like when you say like, I don't move sexy, like I kind of have a hard time believing that because it's like I feel like you kind of do. You know what I mean? And I feel like I said, I feel like younger women don't know how to move. So
Yeah, I've tried to do the stripper, I've tried, but it doesn't look right when I do it. It's not sexy at all.
mm, okay,
It's
yeah.
not sexy. I mean, I can walk out in lingerie and it looks sexy, but I just can't do the stripper stuff and it looks sexy. It just doesn't look right when I do it.
Hmm. Well, I
I've
mean,
tried.
no, yeah, well, no, that's cool, but like just FYI, I don't think there's one specific way to do it. You know what I mean? I just think like it's innate.
Fine.
Like you either find it attractive or not. Like for instance, I was watching this one porno video or whatever of like this hot like older Asian chick, and like she was completely buck ass fucking naked, and she had a fucking dildo, and she was going down on it, and she was like moving her body like she was almost like she's basically like fucking the shit out of that dildo, but like she
Yes.
was like she was like moving her body like she was like a belly dance or something like that, and she was so fucking. It was like honestly one of the sexiest things I've ever seen, in my
Really?
life. It was just like I love that kind of stuff because it's so sexy. You know what I mean? Like obviously guys don't get wet. We get like obviously guys don't get wet. We get hard instead. But it's like
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like for me, it's like older women are also the type of women who can suck you off or whatever, give you a head, and you won't necessarily come right away. Not because the blowjob is bad, but because like they know what they're doing. They know how to lick your fucking cock and shaft and balls and everything like that the right way, so that you feel like you're coming, but you don't actually
Right.
come right away. And like the
Right.
yeah, so for me, like the best blowjob that I've ever gotten in my life was from this older chick, like fucking way back over 10 years ago, back 2010. I went to like this club or whatever, and this like older chick, actually it was two women, as like they came over to me and she gave me like the best blowjob I've ever fucking gotten in my life, and like I literally didn't get off to that. Like I felt like I was going to, but like she did something like I don't know what she was so good that I just didn't come right away, and that lap dance one or sorry that blowjob went on for like 6+ minutes, and it was like I didn't come once. I didn't like no pre cum either. It was
Oh,
crazy.
wow. That
So
is crazy.
yeah, but what about you? Like, what are like the best? I don't want to keep you on too long. Sorry, but like, what's like the best like oral sex you've ever gotten from a guy?
What is the best or who was the best?
Like both, I guess in general. I guess yeah.
I mean, I've had some where they don't know what they're doing. Well, and it was a young one. But I mean, as far as the best one that knows how to perform oral, it was probably my first love. the one that I met in
Oh, okay,
96.
yeah.
He
Nice.
yeah, he just, I mean, he's the one I lost my virginity to. So everything with him and about him, and I mean, he just did everything
Mm.
right. You know, I experienced my first orgasm with him. So yeah, he's probably the best. Even till this day, he's probably the best.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Um. Well, yeah, I can't honestly at this point think of any questions to ask. Other than that, I kind of run the
We've been
gamut.
on this thing for 2 hours.
Jesus Christ. But no, like so yeah. I guess I'll end the interview there. I would also, I guess, like I said, in the future, like and like I said, we won't talk. We switch up the topics every time, but I would like to interview you more, in the future if that's okay. Would you be down?
Of course.
Cool. Awesome.
Of
Awesome.
course.
Awesome. Well, that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and again, comment, like, subscribe. If you don't, you're a fucking asshole. But no, it's just like, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you
Yeah.
next time.